Welcome to this tutorial on how to use Oxford English Hub. First and foremost, in this session, we're going to see the registration or login details you have already had an account. We're going to learn how to enter a code for the first time, and we're going to learn how to create a class. Firstly, what you have to do is go to Oxford English Hub webpage. In order to go to Oxford English Hub webpage, you need to Google it as Oxford English Hub, and the first webpage is going to be the option that you need to click on. You're going to see something like this. Later on, you have to check if you have already an account or if you're going to create it for the first time. So if you're going to create it for the first time, you need to register your email address. Okay, then you're going to write your email address twice and a password. And if you are an administrator, you need to create an organization as well. Then it is important to notice that your organization is going to help you create classes, assign students work, and keep track of your students' progress. Here you can see as well your materials and resources for your face-to-face classes, online classes, or hybrid classes if you are having those. So we're going to go straight forward to the two different sections. The first section we're going to review is how to enter a code. You don't know how to redeem your codes? Then we're going to go to enter a code. So later on, we're going to see all the process on how to redeem your codes in Oxford English Hub. So first, you need to log in. If you are already logged in, it's okay. You need to go to Oxford English Hub. Okay, you're going to see something like this. Later on, you are going to identify the code, whether you received it via email, WhatsApp, or if it is in your teacher's book. Okay, you're going to see something like this. Okay, if you have something like this, or if you have only one code, it is okay. The idea is that you can identify these kinds of codes. Okay, if you have an S or a T code, in this case, you teachers, you need to have a T code. And you can also activate it in the Oxford English Hub enter a code section. Later on, what you need to take into consideration as well is go to enter a code, okay, which is this box. Later on, you need to enter your code and click on activate code, which is this, okay? You're going to write your code and just at the very last part of this process, you're going to see something like this. Okay, you're going to see all your products in my courses section. What else can you see inside Oxford English Hub? Well, inside Oxford English Hub, what you can see as well is this. Okay, you're going to see your resources whenever you want during the next 4 years. Okay, remember that your Oxford English Hub codes last for 4 years. Okay, in the case of your students, the students' codes last for 2 years. So it is important to mention this. What you're going to see inside your Oxford English Hub platform is tests, which you're going to see something like this. Okay, you're going to see the end of the unit test, the cumulative tests, and the end of the course test as well. And in some series, you're going to be able to see as well placement tests, okay? Just in some series, of course. Later on, you're going to see the resources. What are the resources? Well, you're going to be able to see additional resources such as worksheets, students book audio, workbook audios, even some extra homework that you can work with your students if you have students in a mixed ability class as well. So last but not least, what you're going to see as well is a dedicated professional development section where, according to your series, you will be able to see articles or asynchronous professional development modules, such as the ones that you're looking at. Okay. We have two different kinds of papers, the focus papers or the ones that are more academic papers that are actually the ones that are for doing research in linguistically speaking. So the next section where we're going to be is to create a class. Okay, and for this section, we're going to review how to create your classes in Oxford English Hub. So I'm going to recap a little bit on what I have told you at the beginning of the video. At the beginning of the video, I was telling you that in order to create your classes, you need to register first your organization. So for this, we have already created an organization, and we need to bear in mind when we are creating our classes, our class name, if our students are already in the platform, or if we are going to give them a class code later. And finally, the course that you are using. If it is any series that you're working with, you need to bear in mind. Okay. And this is how you're going to be setting up your class. Click on create class in the my classes section. And this is the first box that you're going to be looking at. Then you need to give your class a name. Okay. So this is an example how you can give your class a name. Okay, later on, you need to take into consideration the class code that the platform is going to give you. Okay, so you can save your code for later. In this case, it is important that you take into consideration this code because later on you're going to give it to your students so they can join your class. And last not least, of course, you're going to assign your class, your learning material in your class, okay? So what materials will elementary class January 2025, which is my class name in this section, in this case, are going to be using? Well, I need to type in the name of the materials I'm using with my class. And in this specific example, I'm using Q Skills for Success, okay? So you need to bear in mind the edition, okay? Because we are launching new editions every 4 or 5 years. So if you are still using the previous edition, you need to bear in mind that, because if your students have the previous edition, not the new one, which usually happens a lot, you need to take this into consideration. Okay, so I'm gonna be choosing Q Skills 3rd edition. Okay, and later on, I need to choose the material that I'm gonna be using with my class, which is gonna be online practice, ebooks, if your series is working with Students Book and Workbook ebook, or the Students Digital Pack, which you have online practice and the ebook, if it is your Students Book, or the ebooks, if it is Students Book and Workbooks. Okay, so once you have created your class, you will be able to see it, and you're going to be able to see your students' progress as well. Okay, this is your class name, and this is your students progress. Okay, in this case I cannot show you my students progress because I'm just creating from scratch. Okay, and it is time for a quiz, right? So in order to work with this quiz, I would like you to scan this QR code, and you're going to be able to access the quiz that I have for you in order to check your knowledge, right? Thank you very much. These are my references for this presentation, and thanks a lot. My name is Luis Antonio Flores. I am a business development executive for Oxford University Press. See you later.